Hey, friends. How are you guys? I am Carissa with Change Your Finances, and I love to help women overcome money struggles, gain financial peace with a biblical perspective. I do this with the coaching I do. I do this with my digital products. But I wanted to talk today about the best advice you've gotten on your money. And I'll share some of mine, but I'd love to hear yours. So if you want to go ahead and tell me what was the best, I'm going to type it here. What was the best advice that you got for your money, for handling your money from anyone? And I'd love to know who it was from, because I think there's a lot of wisdom in seeing what other people do and doing it well. And so I just wanted to share what my grandparents shared with me, but I'm going to go ahead and start Instagram. Is that going to work? Hey, Instagram, how are you guys? We're talking about the best advice that you have gotten on your money. I would love to hear who it was from, what it was, and let's talk about it. And I'm going to share what I got as far as the best advice from about money. I was thinking about this, and just one thing that really stood out to me was just a lifestyle. Like I don't remember it actually being said in so many words, but this lifestyle of don't buy what you can't pay for from my grandparents. And as I've been thinking about it, as I've worked on my money and gotten better at handling money, I just really see a lot of wisdom in the don't buy what you can't pay for. If someone wants to type that out for me, that's my advice from my grandparents. And I'm just going to give you 3 ways that has played out in my life. But I would love to hear what you guys say, and what advice you had gotten on money and how it's helped you. So don't buy what you can't pay for. My grandparents said that, and they lived this lifestyle where they just lived, they lived simply. And that's the first lesson I learned, is they lived simply. They didn't have a real flashy house. They didn't have a real, they didn't have a lot of things, I guess you could say, but they lived very comfortably. They had, the homes that I remember, I mean, it was nice. But they always just wanted to make sure that they could pay for whatever they could buy. And they didn't want to go into debt. They didn't really have this huge mindset of, paying stuff on credit cards or buying things that they couldn't afford. They just really wanted to buy things that they could pay for. I know part of it was living through the Great Depression. Anyone else have grandparents who lived through the Great Depression? And so they just really had this simple lifestyle. I mean, they bought what they wanted. They bought things that they, it wasn't like they had a Spartan house or they had a Spartan, but they just bought simple things. They bought, nothing was super flashy. Nothing was designer name or whatever. They just bought simple things that worked well and that were functional for them. And so that was the first thing, is live simply. The second thing that I really took away from that is pay cash. And paying cash for a vehicle, paying cash for I know they couldn't quite do this. They didn't always pay cash for their homes. They moved several times. And I think each time they moved, they put more money into their house. But it was a mindset of they wanted to have less debt and overhead. And so they, would take their house that they were selling and roll all the money into it, plus maybe upgrade a little bit, but not like go crazy on their houses. And so that is the second thing, is just paying cash. And I learned this. I was so excited. It took me, how long did it take me? Okay, so I bought my car in 2007, my Mazda, and I bought that. I had my Mazda. I took out a loan. It was kind of a crazy thing. Like the truck that I'd been driving from my parents, The garage, not the garage, words are hard. The garbage truck came by and like totally scraped up the side of it. And so my dad told me I needed to buy a vehicle. A friend was selling theirs. And so I ended up buying mine. But I had I paid cash. I mean, I had to get a loan because I didn't have any money. I was just out of college. And so I got a loan, but so in 2007, I bought my car. And then at that point, like it was so stressful having those car payments that I wanted to have my next car be debt free. I wanted to pay cash for my next car. And so it took me from 2007 to this year. So what is that? 12 years? 12 years that I saved up money. I mean, and of course there's a lot of other things going on, that it took me that long to save up money and actually have money to put down on a vehicle that I bought this summer for cash. We had the $100 bills and everything. It's so much fun. But so I learned that from my grandparents, just watching them as they bought vehicles, as they bought other things, furniture and everything. They saved up the money. They paid cash for it, and they lived very simply. And so I just really, the third one is just, they always saved money. They saved everything. I mean, my grandma was from the Great Depression, and she like saves all the stuff, and she had such a hard time getting rid of things because of that whole mindset from the Great Depression. But they always saved money. They didn't spend all of the money that they had to have a lifestyle. They would always put money aside, money for paying cash for things or whatever they needed. They would just put money aside into savings every single month. And so those three things, paying cash for it, living simply, and saving money, all kind of fall under the like, don't buy what you can't pay for. And why is this important to me? Because I have learned that, one, I don't like debt. Anyone else not like debt? Give me a thumbs up if you don't like debt and you just want it out of your life for good. Debt was so stressful for me. And so I did go into debt. I bought my car, with the car loan. And then I got married and had my husband's student loans and credit card and all of that. But it was so stressful on me that I have decided I would rather not have the stress. I'd rather not buy for what I can't pay for and pay cash for it. And live simply so that I don't have that stress on me. And when I do that, when I became debt free, it's almost 10 years now, 10 years coming up in March 17th. It's my debt free anniversary. Just a peace of mind that has come from that in the last 10 years has been incredible. So there are very, very, very few things that I would even consider going in debt for. And, I just rather live simply and just save up the money. It takes me a little bit longer to get things, but you know what? That's okay, because I don't have that money stress. I don't have all of that. I don't have it all. And so and it's just a better way to live for me. Like personally, I don't want to have all that stuff. I don't want to have all that stress. I don't want to, whatever that I can't afford, because it comes with you when you go on vacation. It comes with you when trying to enjoy your family and your friends, and having that stress of all the stuff that you can't afford all around you. Like, it's just no fun. And I want to help you guys transform your finances, get rid of that debt for good, because there's no reason why you should stay in debt. There's plans to get out of debt. In fact, the best way I found to manage my money to just really fall in line with what my grandparents have said on not paying for things not buying, I have to read it here, not buying what you can't pay for, following that lifestyle and that example. The best way I've found to manage my money is a prioritized budget. And I have that here. It's changeyourfinances.com/budget. And you can get that. It's a free download. And that's just been the easiest way I have found to set up a budget that I can stick to, something that I can live simply on, that I can make a difference and reach my money goals one at a time, not buying what I can't pay for. That's the advice from my grandparents, but to pay cash, to live simply, to save money every single month. So if you want that worksheet, it's really helpful. Go get it. It's free. But tell me, do you guys what was the best advice that you guys have gotten about money? I would love to have a conversation with you. Love to talk to you. I love being live because then that makes it so much fun. But I think the wisdom from somebody else who has managed their money well and has money and has done well in it, and listening to them and their advice is something that is so helpful, because then like money management is a skill that we all can learn and improve. And I'm still learning, I'm still improving, a different area now than I was in 10 years ago, but I'm still learning. And when you have people who have won with money, who have done really good things with money, and they're sharing it with you, take it. We don't all have to learn the mistakes by ourselves. Like, we can learn from other people's mistakes. We can learn from other things that they've done well. And it's just so important to just kind of gather that information and then just really apply it. And like I said, the 3 lessons that I've learned from my grandparents' advice on don't buy what you can't pay for is to live simply, to pay cash for things, and to save money every single month. And those are the 3 things I learned from my grandparents and just watching their lives. And it's been so important to me, just having that peace of mind. Having that, yes, we do buy cars for cash now. And yes, it's a little bit slower of a process. We're renting right now. We're not buying a home because we need to save up money for it. And it's okay. We invested heavily into my husband's education, and we have just managed our money so that we have savings, so we don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. So that's the tips that I have. That's my advice from my grandparents. I would love to hear what your top advice that you have gotten on handling your money and how it's really helped you. I would love to hear, and because I think we can all learn from each other and learn from the advice that we each have gotten. So share that below. I will talk to you guys soon, but if you want that worksheet, changeyourfinances.com/budget for you guys on Instagram. It's over in my profile. You can find it for a budget worksheet. And you guys have a great night. I will talk to you again soon. Have a good one.